Well, hello, beautiful people of planet Earth and other interdimensional entities. It's the 5th of July 2024 and the time is 2:52 p.m. Welcome to Titania's realm at Sacred Space. Now, if you were watching yesterday's video, you will notice that I had a little mind fart, a little mind explosion, a little mind slip, focusing on some entity, from long ago that aligned with a very dangerous enemy of mine. And I gave a little bit too much energy to that spirit, living incarnate spirit, and it is something I should not ever actually do. Feed psychic vampires, monsters and other asserted vermin with my precious energy. So especially since the particular enemy, the friend of that creature, is dead, can't hurt me anymore, although he does come through in trance drummings and tries to feed me a whole lot of bullshit, and and I see through it and I just go, look, just go back to the light. You're not welcome here. You're not welcome here. But however, last night I began my CPAP mask and snorkeling, what do you call it? Treatment for my CPAP, for my sleep apnea. Sleep apnea that was probably brought on by the first strangulation from the first monstrosity, but it's possible that I had it even before then, but there's a lot of things that align with those three events of being nearly murdered by men that have contributed to my mental health issues and my physical struggles to maintain myself on this planet alone with two small children in that time frame. We're talking the period from early 1995 right up to 2001. 6 years I struggled fending off the worst vermin, all in human form, all threatening, all dangerous, and all men who had proclaimed to love me. Well, not the 1995 attacker, but he was set up by my former husband, so by proxy way, it was an attempted murder by a man who proclaimed once to love me and had gifted me 2 children, or rather I'd gifted myself since I had to do all the work myself, by the way. But anyway, we won't go there. We won't focus on long dead things that are not worth reanimating. Mama T is a former zombie and has been a zombie for over 30 years. But Mama T, although she will sometimes slip back into zombieism because of my traumas, complex cumulative traumas, is really, by all intents and purposes, a zombie no more. I have reclaimed my spirit, my soul, my life force, my joie de vivre, my fierce determination to continuously thrive on this planet. And I was reminded this morning that, those entities from the past, from 20, 30 years ago, are as significant as dust motes on the wind, all destined as we are, all as mere mortals, to eventually blow away. The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind, am I right? I was also reminded, I've been very busy today, I'm extremely exhausted, but I've been very busy today, polishing jewellery, polishing sterling silver. It seems to put me in some kind of zone and I get little reminders from the spirit world. I was also reminded not to forget that had it not been for those former monsters that had been the anti-Tanya, I would not have had the impetus to keep fighting all my life for my own survival, to thrival, and it was a very difficult time being put into battle mode with 2 little children, with no money, living in very dangerous, fraught experiences with no protection, either from my Jewish community or from Queensland Police, by the way. And I was reminded of all I have come through, by and large, alone, and of what a powerful spirit and woman I am, and not to focus on the dead antiquarian shits, some of them who are still alive, dead shits in human form, not to let them bother me or get to me, because I've survived all of them. And by the grace of the gods and my worthy psychiatrist who has fought for me for many years and fights for me still, and my true loving friends who fight for me, without their love and support, I probably wouldn't be here. So I'm wanting to express a little reality check. My head wants to spin like fucking Linda Blair and, just release more rage and more ancient traumas and just drive it all out of my body, all the things that have blocked me from joy and peace and equanimity and my truly loving partner. Just mow down all those blocks. But you can't mow down one block and then pick up another one and build the wall again, and sets one back, darlings. It sets one back. It's just another brick in the wall that I'll have to mow through or climb over or shimmy around or dance along the wall and try not to fall like Humpty Dumpty in a heap, or worse, into that deep, deep pit, that never-ending pit, the abyss of despair and desecration and dissolution that was cast upon me since early childhood, by the way. Mama T has learned how to fly like an eagle. Sometimes I don't fly that well and I go a bit fucking off course. But by and large, I can get myself out of that abyss. And that, my friends, is a sign of my power and my healing and my spirit and my determination to have whatever it is I can have here on planet Earth, be it my loving friendships or my nurturing, protective doctors, or peace on a windy but sunny winter's day, or my creativity, or however it manifests. We all know what I'm trying to manifest, don't we? Oh, but never mind. One does not manifest deep, abiding, loyal, faithful, devoted lovers when one is holding on to dead zombie shits from 30, 20, 25, 30 years ago. All right? You just have to let them kiss off into the air behind my back. I know they stare, but that's okay, because they don't know who I truly am. And for a long, long time, decades, neither did I. But now we're not going to play small, and we're not going to, waste energy on useless, feckless individuals. We're going to arise and shine in the glory of the divine in my own quiet, unique warrior goddess ways. And we're going to be happy. And tonight I'll have to have a nap first because I've been very dizzy and weak today. But tonight I shall dance. And when I come home from my dance, quite exhausted no doubt, I'll be whacking on that CPAP mask and snorkeling, the tubing I mean, for the second night. And I'm going to, every day and every way, try to heal my sleep apnea. And when that's done, why, my darlings, all potentiates will open up before me, because I will have energy and charisma and fortitude and stronger lungs, hopefully, and at least my brain might settle in a new equilibrium, because my brain's taken a bit of a hammering in recent months with the chronic exhaustion. And I don't want to end up an Alzheimer's patient like my mother, riven in my own bitterness and ugliness and putrescence, and certainly don't want to marry a con man like she did. I have to be very careful of that if I do enter into a love partnership or relationship down the track, that it's a man who's noble and decent and trustworthy. Although I have nothing to lose. I've already been completely decimated by various con people, including my mother's last husband and his kids, so you kind of have to laugh. Maybe it doesn't matter if the gods send me a con man, because what's he going to take from me? My dignity, my life, my joy, my peace. We won't be having any of that. I fought too hard to regain those things, my darlings. Anyway, love is the law, love under will. Love the ones you're with, love the ones who love you back truly and deeply and openly, open-heartedly and beautifully and affectionately, and if it becomes a sexual relationship, passionately and romantically and sweetly. Love the ones who have eyes only for you and who you in turn have eyes only for. Just live your best life, people of Earth. This is a message for me, but it's a message to those of you who are in similar situations as I am and need to hear it. We're not going to give up on our own lives and our own journey through planet Earth, however our path leads us. Don't give up, and don't give in. Don't let the shades of the past drag you down like what happened to me yesterday. But you can see by my videos that I'm an authentic woman, and even I have my little, as I said, mind slips. But I mean, it was ugly how I was treated in February 2020, by the way, and it was equally ugly how I was treated at that birthday party for Joe Saragosi in 2001. So of course it's only natural that I'm going to have a little bit of a trauma activation remembering that putrescence. So I'm holding to my truth, even though I'm hated for my truth, because anyone that tries to take away a woman's truth has an agenda, and that is to utterly, utterly destroy her. Remember that, baby girls, baby boys. Hold your own no matter what, no matter who, no matter where, no matter when. The truth remains the truth. Anyway, isn't it wonderful though? I mean, I could dredge up all my older diaries and we'd all be in therapy for the next 50 years. It's intense what I experienced back in the 90s. I could write a book about it, but it's like ripping off a Band-Aid, and it's like torturing myself over and over again, living in that old stale evil consciousness. So I choose to continuously move forward and try not to repeat old mistakes and old patterns. But anyway, my beloved ones, my beautiful ones, my human ones, here we go with today's readings of even date, 5th of July 2024. What are those people doing with all those long ropes and their children? I hope they're not going to hang themselves. They wouldn't in front of their children, would they? Oh, one never knows. The world's gone so putrid and insane, you never know what anyone's capable of anymore. They're probably planning on throwing a rope over a tree and getting the kids to swing from it or something. Anyway, happy thoughts, people of Earth. Happy thoughts. Memories, 5th of July 2024. Una Ravelling. Here's a lovely picture, photograph of a passion fruit flower. Because when in doubt, admire the flowers in the garden, and the fruits of passion just might admire you back, babies. Oh, it's very pretty with all the stamens. This morning I wrote, 7:50 a.m. awake. The CPAP mask went well, much better than when I used it in 2003. My upper respiratory tract feels bloated from my airways being held open all night, but there is no pain or discomfort. The back of my throat feels a bit dry and husky, and there's a weird smoky taste in my mouth, but other than that, I feel fine. I only got up to pee once during the night, which is also a positive. Usually I get up a minimum of 3 to 4 times. So here's hoping this continues to improve so I can heal and achieve great things, or even just exist in the world less activated and on my last raw nerve from chronic exhaustion. Time will tell, smiley face. And I haven't posted it, but I made a comment today on how I'm feeling very dizzy and weak today, but that I was busy doing odd jobs like patinaing all my rings, and I've been out and cleaned the fish pond filter, and what other job did I do? Some washing, help some washing. And the other job I still need to do, but I just don't have the energy right now. So I'm making a video instead. I need to strip my sheets. I haven't done them. It's a bit grotty. I need to clean those up, change my sheets, and then later on this evening prepare, get dressed and made up and ready for my night of dancing. Am I right? So I may do the sheets a bit later. I'll see how I feel. At the moment I feel less weak than I did an hour ago, but by the gods, the CPAP's supposed to make you feel better, not worse, by the way. So it worries me because my body fights. My body fights to stay in that holding pattern of not quite alive but not quite dead, and it doesn't like any interference at all. But it was only the first night, so I'm going to tell my body that she is safe, that she is worthy of a wonderful life, perhaps one day with a wonderful loving partner, and that she is worthy of good health and happiness and prosperity and abundance and peace, and that she is worthy of being surrounded by good, kind, loving people, friends, family, community and or tribe, a truly loving man that has my back, front, sides and adores me and is good and kind to me. I'm worthy of all those things, but I've got to knock down this body that has her own consciousness after surviving so many near deaths. I have to knock down that residual wall that wants to arc up and fight the process of healing. And I know she's doing that, because I'm literally dizzy like this, moving in and out. I feel like one of those jellyfish floating in the ocean, contracting and flowing, contracting and flowing, or like the Tsum in Kabbalah, pulling back and pushing forward, pulling back, pushing forward. It's powerful, but it's also very, very difficult to deal with when your body reacts like that to every positive change that comes her way. Anyway, here we go. 5th of July 2023. It's been a lovely sunny winter's day today. I was up during the early hours of the morning and witnessed a very thick fog. So I knew the rain would cease and the day would smile upon us. I spent most of the morning listening to podcasts. Then later I sat on the grass with my drum and had a trance drumming session. Then I walked the dog and bird. I feel lonely but also kinda contented, patiently waiting for life to push itself through all blocks and obstacles and reveal true hearts and minds. I feel ready for a new life and love to begin. Isn't that interesting that I wrote that 1 year ago, and I was just telling you about the Tsum and the pushing and pulling back and pushing and pulling back and moving forwards no matter what, sometimes after every obstacle, having to rebuild and push again and push again and push again. It's why my Ojibwa Meduan, which is a healer in the Ojibwa tribe, friend on Power Talk called me Mustang Quay, Mustang woman, because he said I'm constantly pushing with my enemy through every disaster, every obstacle, every heartbreak or heartache, every illness, every financial limitation, whatever it is that slams me, I just keep riding through. And by the gods, that man got that right about me. 2012, he told me this. I've realised, yes, I keep pushing and pushing, sometimes to the point that my nose is bleeding and my forehead's just pulp. But I will keep driving myself to my own oblivion, no doubt, because I'm alive. I have this body. It's not exactly a gorgeous supermodel body. It's short and it's a bit squidgy and a bit looks like a hobbit and with big feet and whatever. But I have this body that my soul chose to create in this way, armoured in this way, extra padding, which I will have to release to heal the sleep apnea, by the way. But I know that this body is capable of great things when she's in perfect alignment with my mind and my soul and my spirit. And it's a work in progress, and we're getting there. And my body likes to dance. And does she throw a tantrum on the rare weekends that I don't get to dance, which happened a couple of weeks ago? I wasn't feeling well, so I missed out on the dance. And did my body sulk? The equivalent of sulking. I can't explain it because I went into some kind of strange state, and I realised it's my body is not happy because I didn't push her out into the world for the wild dance. So anyway, I made up for that last weekend. This body danced 2 nights, too wildly, and I was lucky that there was enough room on the dance floor for me to really get myself into my usual berserker frenzy of wild shamanic type dancing. So it did me the power of good, although it knocked me off my socks for a few days because of my sleep apnea and my other issues. But I'm very tired, but I'm back in my own seat, my own saddle again, and tonight I will dance again. But I think I will try to have at least an hour's nap though, because this dizziness is not good. It indicates that my blood pressure is not quite right. So I have to be careful of that. My grandmother died of stroke, and my paternal grandmother, my maternal grandfather died of stroke too. So I have to be aware of perhaps not driving myself too hard when I'm feeling weak and dizzy, people of Earth. But on the other hand, the power that I manifest when I've gone out feeling weak and dizzy has been astonishing. So I'm not going to worry too much or let the bastards grind me down, people of Earth. Here I shared a video, She, Fairies, Puka, Banshees and Irish Folklore with Dr. Jenny Butler, which was an interesting video on YouTube. And then I shared another interview on YouTube with Pat Noon about Irish fairies. So my focus last year was on the fairy realms. Well, I do live at Titania's realm. Although my name is Tanya, I'm referencing Queen Tatiana or Titania of the Forest Fae. I live under her auspices, literally at the foot of a forest. So I take that very seriously. We do not want to annoy the Fae and have them thinking that I'm claiming her queendom, her royal status, because I'm not. I'm just a short, fat, little humble hobbit trying to stay in the good graces of all that is, was and ever shall be for as long as I can, babies, because there's been enough shit shows and shit fuckery and horror, and I need to continuously walk my walk and rise above a lot of that. Looking forward to getting my hair done soon. I don't like it when I get the gnarly dark roots coming up underneath. But look, they're starting to come out. The grey's finally coming through. So, yes. Mama T, getting old disgracefully, as she always does. Anyway, I wrote a comment on this video about Pat Noon, I think it's Nooney in Ireland. It was he's a farmer. It was a wonderful video. I really enjoyed it. So I wrote here, this is lovely. I resonate with all he said. We need to bring the fairy world back into our secular culture, connect with nature and the healing plants, allow love to reign in this world again. It's the only way we as humans will continue to survive and thrive. 5th of July, 2022. Missing my TV tonight. I tried sitting in the lounge watching shows on my iPhone, but decided it felt lonely in there, staring at the black blank screen of my dead TV. So I am in bed with my electric blanket cranked up, listening to my bread making machine making loud thumping noises as it aggressively hurls the dough around inside it. It sounds like it might take off to Mars, colonize Mars with yeast. Lol. I am still quite sick, but seem to cough less today. It was bitterly cold and raining all day, so I sat in my studio and hallmarked some silver jewellery I made last year, then polished it up nicely. Isn't it interesting how I picked a day to patina my rings? So there you go. I also made some ring holders to put inside the canteen. By that I meant the cutlery canteen. Just sort of pottering around as it was a good day to do so. In the evening, I got cabin fever, so considered driving to the shops to buy more chocolate, but it was so cold and wet and morose outside that I decided I would be wiser to stay safe and warm in my house. The chocolate can wait. But I ran out of bread, so that meant I have to use the bread machine. Fortunately, I had enough bread mix. 5th of July 2021. Where is my... What's happened here? Oh, here we go. I wrote a long comment in response to a memory or a little comment I'd written back on the 5th of July 2010, which was 14 years ago. 2010 I wrote, another day without a dollar or a collar or a holler. I will go quietly into the doldrums of my serenity and live to laugh another day. All primal screamed out, so now just loll about, which you can interpret either as lolling about, doing nothing much, or laughing out loud about. Double entendre there, babies. I know, work with me, people. Sometimes even my genius makes me look stupid. I realise that sometimes. 5th of July 2021. Ha ha. I met a man named Simon at drumming a few years back who took one look at me and told me to primal scream. Obnoxious bastard. I just replied that I am all primal screamed out, but if I ever started again, I would be a banshee at lintels. Oh yes, I would. Might even aspire to do that one day, if the gods allow it. Be kind of fun. All the people I could visit that had fucked me over in this life, and I could just be shrieking under their lintels, reminding them that their days are numbered on planet Earth. Oh, what fun. But it's a little bit malicious, so maybe not. Maybe I'll just do what I always planned of doing. That is, the moment I leave this physical body, I'm going to travel all around the earth to all the sacred sites that I never got to see in this physical incarnation, and be happy, and then move on peacefully, knowing I have seen all the things I wanted to see that have long been denied me by poverty and fate and malfeasant assholes as well that drove me into further poverty. But shh, no more mind slips today, Tanya Aarons. Today you're going to manifest truest, greatest love and your own power and your own delight, and the rest can all slough off. Right, here we go. But yes, I continued writing. It was a tad confronting and weird. Who the hell says to a woman sitting beside them in a circle, looking at her condescendingly, that she should primal scream? Like, what kind of low-level imp was that? I want to know. Curious minds want to know. Anyway, we were friends. I let him be my friend on my Facebook page for some obscure reason, and we were friends for a few weeks, and then he got even weirder and weirder, started acting like he was trying to seduce me into some kind of love affair, and got jealous because I was talking to one of my other Facebook friends, even though we didn't have that kind of a relationship. I don't know where the guy was right off his rocker, quite frankly. So he had to go. He got blocked and deleted. And interestingly, he still puts like on the West End drumming circle as if he's going to come along, like the other ex-lover, Dave, did too. Trying to play games like, baby boys, if you're going to play games with the Tanya, you must know this. You will be playing alone, because the sound of one hand clapping is silence. And if I identify you as a malignant idiot cur, I will never play along with you. And you and I will never be lovers or even friends. I can't stand emptied, vapid, malicious, nasty little imps acting out in human form. I just can't abide it. I just can't go there, guy friends. Be real with me, be authentic, be decent and honouring, or slough the fuck off. Dear Goddess. I'm about to go dancing, and you know what happens when I go dancing? Some of the imps try to form attachments with me then too. And ask the bands and the security and the bar staff how that goes for them. Never well, darlings. Never well. As my friend Scott said, I love how you dodge the dickheads, Tanya. I've been dodging the dickheads for decades, darling. I can dodge them like that. Anyway, you have to laugh. It's all part of the free entertainment, though, is me dancing as hard as I can to avoid the dickheads, and then when they try to follow me out of the club, me dodging them again. It's a fine art form that I've developed over many, many years of dancing out in the scene. So, yes. My former lover was sitting in circle opposite, speaking of dickheads, sitting in circle opposite me with a new woman, which there's no harm in that. But this was why, you'll hear why he was a dickhead. And even he was greatly amused when I put good old Simon back in his place. But I was severely triggered, as it reminded me of the days I was in love with that filthy bastard Davidson, and how he also used to try to humiliate me at Kabbalah classes with his cheap, nasty girlfriend, whom he later married. I often wonder why I draw in so many venal, toxic men into my life, and why they set about undermining me with their other lovers and friends. It was really toxic to do that. Why would you do that? Bored rich people, or just bored broken people? Clearly they had no life, is all I have to say. Maybe they should take up a hobby like silversmithing and do something productive with their lives rather than following around the Tanya, trying to upset me on every level they possibly could, because they were that empty and soulless and voided out. It's just bizarre. But anyway, I'm going to open my window. All of a sudden, I'm a hot flush. I can see my face going all bright red. Oh dear Goddess. Here I continue writing. It must be a stain left over from my abusive family of origin. Very likely. A program running in my head since early childhood, the sexual abuse and the dehumanizing I experienced during most of my childhood. Or it might be karmic. Or it might be that there are so many shitty, awful people, and they flock to me because of my power as a warrior goddess whose strength helped me survive my entire life. It's like they come to kind of feed like vampires because they're so weak and spineless and inept, and they see me all fiery and wild and holding my own in my small, short little hobbit body, and they want to attach and suck and drain and steal my light and my joy instead of building their own charisma and their own mana and their own power and their own happiness. They were wanting to siphon off mine. Not cool, people of Earth. Get your own. It's available to you. All you have to do is ask the gods to assist you, and they will. But don't steal from other mortals. You will always be void and empty. You can't hold on to what you did not acquire or earn or build by your own soul and spirit, and even by your own hands or intellect. So I used to look at these idiots sitting there leering at me, and I'd think, oh, you poor mofo. You poor zombified mofo. I would pity you if you weren't so dangerous and malicious that you were not even worthy of pity. You were just the kind of entity that should have just, well, the Vikings would have just disposed of them, I guess. But anyway, I don't do those kind of things. It's all up to the gods. Karma is karma, bitches. Just remember that though. Karma is karma. But here I continue writing. But I have beautiful, kind, soulful earth angels and the ineffable ones on my team. So there is that, smiley face. No one fucks with the Tanya anymore. Don't know why my hair's doing weird things. Sit down here, behave. There has been way too much fuckery. I am contented with my life these days, creative and constantly filling my own soul up with love and light and humour. And when did I write that? My babies, my sweet ones, my angels, my gorgeous ones? 2021. Yes, what she said. The poppy spoon arrived today. Oh, and I had to melt that down in the end. I made a mess of that. I made a mess of making it, so I had to saw off the spoon bowl and bend the rest of it again. Looks better now. I need to buy another one and redo that. I wanted that pattern particularly. I really liked it. But oh well. Mama T was learning. Things go wrong. Things go wrong and you just have to notch it up to experience and try again and try again and try again till you get it right, babies. Here's a beautiful photo of someone I loved very much. Monsieur Lebeau. Now in another dimension somewhere. 5th of July 2020. Here is Mama T, looking particularly happy about something, I don't know what. Building my self-esteem with my jewellery making, probably. 5th of July 2020, a magical, beautiful night. Full moon rising on my way to buy fish and chips. Posted the photo, but I can't be bothered turning the phone around again. Just imagine a full moon rising. Here I write, what a magical night, the planets in alignment. And it was another photo of the moon, which I will show you because it was a lovely photo. There we go. I'm very fond of full moons. Full moons, wild tempestuous storms, gorgeous, loyal, loving lovers when I can get them. Has been a very long time since I ever had a gorgeous, loving, loyal lover, but it could happen one day. Not one of those former partners were loyal or faithful. Some of them weren't even gorgeous. I mean, weren't even worth my time. What was I thinking? Oh, dear goddess. Well, this is what happens when you bumble through life, opening up your heart. You can draw in some really, really odd and quite malevolent types. Here I write, better shot this time. Jupiter and Saturn below La Bella Luna makes Mama T want to howl. The howling being my wolf guardian spirit. Beauregard is very happy tonight. Oh, he really was. Oh, he was such a sweet boy. This is why I miss him so much. Look at that little face. Look at him snuggling into his mama too. Now getting cold. Getting cold now, from the sublime to the ridiculous, people of Earth. 5th of July 2019, 3:21 a.m. insomnia, shit. 11:11 a.m. good morning, angels, because it's the angel synchronicity number. Smiley face. I had a rough night with insomnia, reflux and pain, but squeezed some blissful sleep in from 6 a.m. Reborn into another day. It is still windy outside, but not as bad as yesterday. I shall endeavour to enjoy today as I do every day. Carpe diem. Here's another photo. Just realised fucking dust mites all over that screen. All you've been looking at is my dust. Oh dear goddess. Well, anyway, here's another delightful photo of me with my bow. And I wrote, kissy kissy. I said to Bobo, shall Mama go dancing? He said, no way, Mama T. Stay home with me and heal. I said, okay, Bobo, you was a good dog tool. That was not long after I had that awful gallbladder surgery. But you can see there, 10 days later, and my spirit or my body was wanting to dance, even though I was still actually not well enough to go dancing. 10 fucking days. I'm a force of nature, and I'm a dancer who loves to dance. Not a professionally trained dancer. In fact, I don't do formal dancing. So I'm a bolterer who likes to bolter around and do my stomping, dancing, shamanic, wild, twirling, whirling dervishes. My friend Kellyanne wrote, his fur is so awesome. I have always loved that about him. And I replied, it's very fine and fly away like my hair. He hated me giving him a brush today, growled at me. I said, now Bobo, do you want to look pretty for drumming? He lay down and grumbled and grizzled, but let me brush him. Funny guy. My dog and I are both slobs. It took me 2 hours to get ready with beading my hair, blow waving it to straighten it, makeup, then sitting down to polish my silver necklace and belt and the brooch on my hat, on my top hat I mean. Plus brush the bow. It was quite an effort, but we scrubbed up okay. It felt good to have a reason to dress up, show up, and be out in the world again. 5th of July 2018. Tonight I attended the Short and Sweet Play Festival, which was held in Surfers Paradise. I thoroughly enjoyed the performances. I'm very proud of my daughter, who played a leprechaun in full Irish brogue. July 5th, 2017. Here's a photo of me. It's hard to see, but it's me with Charlie. We're a little bit soft focus there, or I don't know what happened. Out of focus. Glamour shot makes me look less wrinkled and pretty. Oh. July 5th, 2017. What's happening here? Coming back down the tree to Mama because he's Mama's boy. Well, Mama's girl, really. He gives me very little space. I put him in the tree to play and give me a little break. She wasn't having any of it. Came back down to annoy me, am I right? Mama's little baby girl. Charlie is being a bird in the golden rain tree. Still in 2017. Bloody hell, I take Nyzac or Tazac every day. No wonder I'm getting dotty. I received my GORD, that's gastroesophageal reflux disorder, from decades of childhood trauma. Pushing everything down, or your emotions will fuck you up physically, people of Earth. That's why I always say, don't repress yourself, express yourself. But that man at drumming, Simon, wanting me to primal scream was a bridge too far, by the way. But he had a point. Sometimes it's just good to just let it all out and scream and scream and scream and scream. And did I mention scream? Until you faint and pass out. And then it's gone. Whatever emotion that's trapped inside you that needs to be expressed. But you've got to let it out at a safe venue, people, because I did that once and it almost got me put in the psych ward. The motherfuckers. But anyway, I even had reflux as a newborn. Fuck. Oh well, nice knowing you all. I never wanted to be old and decrepit anyway. This was in response to a video I posted by 7 News Australia that says drugs used to treat heartburn, ulcers and reflux have been linked to premature death and everything from fractures to dementia, which is my major phobia, is getting that, because my mother died of advanced Alzheimer's and it was not cool, people of Earth. Not cool at all. But I am catastrophizing. I'm responding to that video still. I have only been taking reflux medication, which none of which worked until Nyzac, which only works some of the time, for a few years. Then only half a dose, as I was already suspicious of pumping more drugs into my body that are slowly killing me. Seems my instincts were right. So yes, I've been freeballing, no reflux medication. As you can see in my videos, I'm often doing little burps, which is reflux, and no psychiatric medications. And since I've tried 2 bladder medications, there'll be no more of that either. Doesn't work either. So I'm freeballing and free falling, trying not to die. Literally trying not to die. Some days I do better than others. Today was a particularly, I don't feel quite as dizzy, but now my eyes are burning and I just feel wrung out. So, but I think maybe that was, as I said, my first night with CPAP and having the air forced into my lungs. I didn't like it in 2003 and it didn't work for me, and so my body's probably remembered that, and it's or my brain, or it's throwing a epic wobbly, I can tell that much. Just in its own quiet little, making me feel dizzy and weak way. But we're going to fight it, and we're going to ride through it, because I'm determined to heal myself, my body, mind and spirit, to the 10th generation before me. Leave all the ghosts and ancient traumas where they belong in the past, and kick down all obstacles so I can have my beautiful life with my beautiful man, whoever that person ends up being in the future, and prosper and be happy and healthy and joyous and peaceful. And if I don't, I'm going to die, people of Earth. It's all or nothing. It really is, because I've been struggling for so long now. I know the alternative is it could swing the other way. Very conscious of that too. I've been conscious of that for the last 6 months actually. Holding myself up and pushing myself through like a fucking legend. It's been very, very confronting at times, but also extremely powerful and astonishing. Here I write, still in 2017, gifts of unconditional love and fortitude from sacred space. The hyacinth came back, miraculous. And yes, they're up at the moment. They're not at the flowering stage yet, but they are up. It's my Louisiana iris, which I noticed it's got a couple of buds. A little hyacinth, and what's that? That looks like little carnations, doesn't it? Don't remember growing carnations. Or is it jonquils? It might be the jonquils. I can't quite see because it's got a blurry photo. Oh dear goddess. Is it blurry, or is it my vision that's blurry? It's just kind of a weird soft focus to it, so it's not my vision, it is blurry. All right, here we go. 5th of July 2015. Oh dear God, we were leading up to that event. It was not good, people of Earth. But here we are, still alive, still holding our own, still fighting. Now you know why I call myself a warrior goddess. I'm not actually a goddess, people, just saying, before all the gods. But it's my tongue-in-cheek expression for my actual fortitude and power and strength and determination and survival against all the odds. 5th of July 2015, 4:38 a.m, home from dancing. Weird vibe tonight. Lots of aggressive men who would not take no for an answer. Fucking arseholes when they do that. In spite of the higher ratio of creep factor, Karen, Kimbo, Moana, Joe and I had a lovely time, as we always make sure we do. Kimbo gave me a lovely cuddle at 3:30 a.m. when I was getting so stressed from some creepy men that I had to hold my temper. Thanks, Kimbo. You rock, darling girl. That was very kind. I needed that cuddle because I was really starting to lose it. Just not good, people. It's not good when I lose it over stupid, inept, drunk men. So, for the love of God, talk about wasting my energy on idiots. Anyway, where was I? I will be resting my feet in a hot bath, then off to bed. I love dancing all night, but being harassed by drunks really makes my blood boil. I know security was watching out for me most of the night, as one guy harassed me early in the night. Another guy who noticed it went to complain. Well, that was very kind, wasn't it? See, sometimes you don't know who your friends are and who your earth angels are, watching and protecting from the background. So thank you to those kinds of wonderful men that do have my back. I appreciate you very much. I can handle myself, so apart from the stress factor, you'll be happy to know I didn't get into any fights. I honestly don't know how I didn't, as the first creep kept baiting me by cycling back to me on my part of the dance floor just to prove some psychopathic point in his moronic head. I just kept an eye on him. After the 10th time, even my friends noticed he was harassing me, so they would dive in between him and me. Funny is, soon as one psycho, Lana, stops hassling me, another one leaps up to fill their shoes. No rest for the PTSD survivor. I just have to try not to let them get to me, but after some other idiots, tall, hulking, Teutonic men literally kept dancing and jumping on me, I was ready to snap, crackle and pop. One actually apologised, then did it again. Grr, drunk, moronic men. The more they pissed me off, the harder I danced. Such is life in the big city, yes indeed. 5th of July 2014. You kind of have to giggle. 4:34 a.m, knackered, went dancing at the pub after helping Jared move his fish to the new house. Now home cooking chicken schnitzels. I just ate melted cheese on toast. All I really want is Jack Daniels and chocolate. Sad face. Sipping tea instead. Laughing out loud. 3:29 p.m. Not long awake. Feel happy to be alive. Still in love, but like a bad case of the flu. That shall pass. Fever in the morning, fever all through the night will soon transform into cold, dark chills. Then emptiness. Alas, it did. Oh, how I dread the emptiness. So I'm stocking my impending emotional void with dancing, laughter, and genuine loving friends who are truly there for me. This is the longest period of in love euphoria I have ever experienced. It's the real thing. Well, it was on my end, people of Earth. It's no accounting for other people's malignancies, though, is there? So sad. Pity it's dry humping a mossy, dank brick wall. That wall is loving all the psychedelic swirling and heat and sunshine. I've almost thawed out its crust. Oh, poor psychedelic dreamer and her fetish for wigs, as Jared reminded her to ground her. Now my wig is completely wigged out, but the love goes on. I am not going to stop loving, as this feels good, right, and almost a spiritual vocation. I was not born to be loved by a man. It simply has never happened. I must say, I do try though. Insert evil grin here. I do keep trying though, because as I said earlier, I'm worthy of a true and great and wonderful love in my life, as worthy as any other mortal woman or man on this planet. Could happen one day. It really could. Where was I? Here I write, I'm so proud of Jared. He is towing a trailer to the tip. His first time towing. He only got his license a year ago. I have been driving for 33 years and I have never towed anything. Wow. I was really amazed and impressed. 5th of July 2013. I slept until 12:30 p.m. Still felt weak, but was pleased to see Gail and Christina, who visited. When they left, I got a mad urge to get to work in the garden, so I cut back the other passion fruit vine and watered, then raked leaves and threw them as mulch around the garden beds. I also changed the water in the back fish pond. I need to buy a pump and filter for it. The fish looked so happy and pretty. About 4:30 p.m, I came back inside as it was getting dark and damp. I lit the Shabbat candles, prayed for my usual miracle yet to happen. Oh dear Goddess. Now watching TV and resting. I wonder when Yahweh will stop being a jealous God and let me have my truly loving man at long last. I mean, here we were praying back in 2013, and that only drew in that dreadlock nitwit wig, so there is that. Oh dear Goddess. And then there was Marco, and then there was that other idiot, Peter Brett, yes, dead Elvis who should remain dead. And who else was around at that time frame? I think that was it. None of them suitable for the Tanya. Just game players and tricksters and liars and cheaters and sadists. It's just beyond awful. That's why I've been celibate for the last 9 years. I thought, this is no good. This is just no good. It's soul destroying, not good for my health either. Just let the bastards go and move on and be happy. And it's been a constant process of healing from all of that, quite frankly. 5th of July 2011. I slept most of the day but managed to go outside and rake up leaves for compost. Heaps of leaves. Need to do that again, actually. I've spent the evening reminiscing about an old friend with Jared. Happy days are here again. If we knew then what we know now, oi. I have to laugh. 5th of July 2010. Oh, I'll repeat it again. Another day without a dollar or a collar or a holler. I will go quietly into the doldrums of my serenity and live to laugh another day. All primal screamed out, so now just loll about. 5th of July 2009. If you read this, even if we don't speak often, post a comment with a memory of you and I. Can be anything you want, either good or bad. When you're finished, post this paragraph on your own status and you'll be surprised at what people remember about. I don't usually play those kind of games on Facebook, but I thought that might be intriguing. So here's what I got back, and it was delightful. Dion Ginsberg, Sylvia Shine's daughter, wrote, I remember you as my big older friend, and we used to play together near the grounds of Wellington Hospital, and I loved playing with you. And once we ate marzipan fruits that your mum bought for us. And like her mother, she showered me with kisses, 8 kisses to be exact. Wherever you are, Dion, Shine Ginsberg. I replied, "Oh, how lovely. I remember you as the most beautiful child with large eyes. And yeah, I thought you were adorable. And I used to drag you around everywhere. Wow, I don't remember the marzipan fruits, but I do love good German marzipan to this day." So yeah, there must have been some marzipan munching involved. And I was stingy. I only left her 5 kisses. My friend Jared Nielsen wrote, let's see. Una Ravelling, tea fountain, escaping house painting to see psychics, Pope Alice, and trips to cool places like Byron. And I replied, "Oh my God, you weren't even there when the tea fountain happened. That's cheating, lol." And he replied, "It was described in such detail that I felt like I was, lol." I came home from trying to go to the markets one time with my kids. I'd been at the market all day, and I must have eaten something bad. I don't know what it was. Made no money, and I was distressed, and I must have eaten something a bit off. And really, most of the day I'd only drunk tea. But driving home from the Mount Gravatt markets, travelling up Logan, yes, it was Logan Road, travelling up Logan Road, somewhere out just past the, where was it? I can almost remember the exact spot it happened. Oh God, it was embarrassing. Anyway, I started projectile vomiting tea, and I didn't even feel it coming. I just opened my mouth, and this tea just poured out through my mouth, like woof, like out. And it was like my daughter was beside me, and we were all screaming. They were all screaming. Well, it wasn't like I did it deliberately, people of Earth. And the tea just kept pouring out in like projectile waves out from my tummy, out through my esophagus, out, spraying all through my car, all over my clothing, all into the floor, into the car seat. Nothing but tea vomit. And it was like undigested tea. It came out the same way it went in. Just brownish looking liquid tea. And I vomited. I had to pull over the car because I was driving when it started. Quickly pull over, and I just sat there, and it just kept coming and coming and coming, and I was shaking. Like, what is this? And Crystal was screaming, "Oh my God, Mum, that's awful!" It was awful, but it wasn't deliberate. Anyway, after a while, the urge to vomit ceased. Oh, that's right. We were still living at Mount Gravatt East and Wardle Street. So hang on, if that's true, how come we were driving further down Logan Road when that happened? Because that was right next door to those markets. Well, anyway, we must have gone somewhere to get food for them, or something must have happened that we were driving in kind of this direction. Because I definitely wasn't living here in this house when that event happened. Anyway, it was so frightening. I thought I was going to die, to be honest. This fluid that just kept pouring out of me. And then I recovered myself long enough to, start dripping wet in my own vomit, by the way. Just looked and felt like still tea. And it was just such a weird anomaly. And anyway, and then I managed to drive home. And as soon as I got home, stopped the car in our little driveway in that other house there, the kids got out still screaming at me. They were no empathy, those little bastards. They were really quite mean to me. And so I'm all weak, and there's tea everywhere. So I go in to get a cloth to come back to try and clean my car, right? Am I right? And I felt the urge to vomit again. So then I run back. I literally stood in the bathtub in that house and I just vomited and vomited again and thought, well, at least it's going to go down the drain in the bath. And then I had a really hot shower and I stripped all the vomity clothes off and had a really hot shower, and I was so weak. All I wanted to do was crawl into bed and die. But I knew if I didn't clean up the vomit in the car, it was going to stink out my car, am I right? You know, surprisingly it didn't. Like, I did clean it, but it actually, because it was mainly just tea. Anyway, I don't know what the hell happened that day, but I have never vomited so much liquid in my life. Not even on the rare occasions in my, earlier life when I get drunk occasionally. Never have I. It was like a fountain. Anyway, so that's what he was saying, because he heard about it, felt like he'd been there. And the Una reveling is a family joke between Jared Nielsen and I. One time, many years ago, when I was on psych meds, and I must have been, I don't know, I was just in and out of kind of consciousness in some kind of fugue state, not processing things. And Jared and Crystal were sitting on the couch, and I was on the couch beside them, and we were watching TV. And I'm looking at the TV like this, and I thought we were watching a movie. And I kind of said to Jared, "What's this movie about, Jared? I don't understand it. It's so weird." And then he looked at me, he said, "It's not a movie, it's a Hallmark ad. It's an advertisement between shows." And so I looked again, and I'm turning my head this way and that way and looking at it. And I'm like right out of my mind, like I felt kind of stoned, I guess, would be the closest thing I could say to how I felt. I was just in some weird altered state. But I wasn't on any other substances apart from my psych meds. And then I just turned to him and I said, "I am Una reveling." And he went, "You mean you're unraveling?" And I went, "Yes, but Una reveling." And he just looked at me. And so from that time forward, all I had to do was turn my head and look at him and say, "I'm Una reveling," meaning unraveling. And he would just nod and say, "Just sit down, Tanya, I'll make you a cup of tea. You're not well." And he was so sweet. And so that was our code word for, "I'm not well, I'm right out of my skull right now, I'm unraveling." And if you ever see me unravel, some of you and my beautiful men in the bands, my handsome talented men in the bands, might have seen me unravel a few times over the last 14 years, but I kind of hold it in and disguise it very carefully when I'm out in public. But if you ever see me unravel, it can be a bit astonishing. It's like I've left my body and I'm just out here somewhere, or out here or circling myself, and I have to go and call my spirit back in. Yes. Actually, Scott from Alter Egos would have seen me in that state a few months ago, I think in March at Koala Tavern, when I had danced myself so powerfully and so wonderfully and so majestically that I was so exhausted. I did leave my body, and I was very conscious that I was no longer embodied, and I was sort of looking around, twirling around, trying not to make it obvious, whistling myself back home. So yeah, that's another example of Una reveling. And I do that. I do that from time to time, usually under extreme adrenaline extremis, or extreme exhaustion, or under too many attacks by too many people at once. I will just flip out, unravel, remove myself from this physical corpus, and deal with things spiritually. And honestly, sometimes those are the times when I'm at my most powerful, although outwardly it looks like I'm at my most vulnerable. It's a weird anomaly. I can't even explain why it is like that. But people often underestimate me, thinking, oh, she's looking like she's off her head, and I'm actually fully embodied at that point in time. It's quite unusual. It's probably one of the gifts from ancient cumulative traumas, those that I can move in and out of states, sometimes barely perceptibly to the uninitiated, by the way. Here I replied to Jared, lol, it was truly horrible and unforgettable. Not one of my most pleasant memories, that's for sure. So, yeah, thus concludes today's readings of Even Date. There's no Una reveling today, although the potential for that, given how tired I am, there is a potential for that if I get surrounded by too many weirdos when I go dancing tonight. So the remedy for that is I will go and have a little rest and gather my forces, my inner forces, my life force, my chi, my mana, my spirit, my soul, and my neshama, ruach, and nefesh. And I'll whistle us all in together, and I'll conflagrate and conglomerate, hold it together, and I'll dress up and show up and have my little drinky poos of Jack Daniels, which I'm actually looking forward to because I haven't had a drink since last Saturday. I only had 2 because I didn't want to drink too much because I'd already had drinks on Friday, and I don't like to drink too much alcohol. It's not good for me. And one night a week is okay, but 2 is too much actually. So I only had 2 last Saturday, but I'm looking forward to a nice little drinky poos tonight, listen to Ramjet play, and have my dance and enjoy the nightlife, and just do it as I do every weekend, usually on a Friday night. Just observe the Shabbat in my wild Viking berserker way by dancing wildly. Oneg Shabbat in wild spaces with wild people, and express my own freedom and delight in life, l'chaim, and then go home and revert to being a little old lady crone again for the rest of the week. So yes, that is what I shall be doing. So have a wonderful day wherever you are in the space-time continuum. Stay blessed, stay happy, stay wild, stay free. And as always, never ever let the bastards grind you down, and enjoy the Una reveling. And if you want to set that to music, play Bolero by Ravel, is it? I think it's Ravel. But anyway, there's some nice little unraveling for you. Anyway, bye for now. Much love from Titania's realm at Sacred Space. Or is it the other way around? It doesn't matter. Wherever you be, let your spirit run free. Bye for now.